Today, Good Friday, is the day Christians commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Early on Good Friday morning, Catholic churches across the world reenact his death. It's known as the Stations of the Cross. The Stations are a 14-step Catholic devotion that commemorates Jesus' last day on earth as a man. They focus on specific events of his last day, beginning with his condemnation. C News witnessed a dramatization of the Stations in Maracas Valley this morning. At each station, those participating meditate on a specific event from Christ's last day. Specific prayers are recited before moving to the next station until all are complete. The stations are most commonly prayed during Lent on Wednesdays and Fridays, and especially on Good Friday, the day of the year upon which the events actually occurred. The reenactment follows each station. In the first station, Jesus is condemned to death after being betrayed by Judas. The main charge against Jesus was that he claimed to be the king of the Jews. In the second, Jesus carries his cross.
Then they took charge of Jesus.
On his journey to Calvary, Jesus fell several times.
The third station, Jesus falls the first time. We adore you.
After falling, he took up his cross and continued his journey. As he continued, he met with his grieving mother Mary.
We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
After seeing him struggle in the fifth station, Simon of Cyrene decided to help Jesus carry his cross.
As they were leaving him,
He wasn't the only one who helped. In the sixth station, a woman by the name of Veronica wiped his face.
we adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. But you, he said, who do you say I am?
Though he had help, he fell again.
This way, become completely like his brothers, so that he could be compassionate and trustworthy high priest.
He would fall again for the third time, but would still continue. Along the way, Jesus stopped to encourage the women of Jerusalem who wept.
Jesus speaks to the woman of Jerusalem. We adore you, Christ, and we bless you.
Upon reaching Calvary, he was stripped and nailed to the cross. His suffering would come to an end soon after. His body was prepared for burial and laid in a tomb. Good Friday commemorates the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at Calvary. He was killed for claiming to be the Son of God and the King of Israel. On Sunday, Christians celebrate his resurrection. Catholic faithful in South Trinidad also joined in the annual Good Friday observances as they took part in the reenactment of the Stations of the Cross up the San Fernando Hill. Children reminded the congregation about the 7 deadly sins: pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, and sloth. Young people also paid a tribute to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ with interpretive dance. During his sermon, officiating priest Father Kenneth Serju focused on the 7th deadly sin, sloth. He described rather that sloth as a laziness of spirit and a lack of imagination which does not see beyond present circumstances. Father Sergiu spoke about the drop in academic performances in CXC Math and English as he encouraged parents not to look upon their children as failures.
70% failure rate in CXC Mathematics and also a 40% failure rate in English. And if these statistics are true, it can make us think that that is the end. That's a lot in life for those who have failed in inverted commas. But if we accept that of our young people, and if we do not see the promise and the talent that they had here in acting, in dramatizing, in singing, in dancing, and so on, in praying, I commend.
Another area plagued with the deadly sin of sloth is the level of politics in the country. He noted some of the worst things are being said about politics, while there's a certain attitude towards politics and politicians. He challenged the country's leaders to see beyond the traditional political culture and adopt a spirit of change.
There's a kind of culture, a kind of mentality surrounding politics where we say it's too hard to change anything. I've waited long enough. I've been in politics for 20 years or 30 years. I've suddenly gotten this position, so I'm going to relax. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to travel. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to eat and drink. And that's why it's quite common to find some politicians, they look slim before elections, and after elections, they get big and fat.